Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to be introduced to a new series featuring my life's work, or at least the work of about 8 months, called Innovation with Stellar AI. And in this series, I'm going to be using Stellar AI to build apps and projects. And particularly today, what I'm going to do is create a work portfolio site using Stellar AI, my AI tool for software developers. So specifically what I'm looking for is a kind of site in which you can look at the files and look at screenshots and look at my kind of inner thought process of how I went through it, and like maybe video demos of the project, even maybe a way to execute the code live on the website and see the result of the project. But I think that would be a little bit too complex, so just screenshots I think is fine. So yeah, I want to make a work portfolio site to display my past coding projects. And also I would like to have an about me section. So the about me section is to just state my goals and things like that. So what Stellar AI is aimed to do is to guide me as an inexperienced developer through the process of how to build an app and not waste time on it and actually complete it, right? I love Flask Python, and there are better frameworks that I might switch to in the future, but so far I haven't encountered that many problems with the existing framework. So yeah, I already have experience with Flask Python and that. As for a timeline, as it's asking me, I'll probably choose 1 to 2 months because I need a more flexible timeline. I'm going to be building it, but building on the side, kind of. It's like a side project for the series. I have no clue about hosting solutions, right? As you might not, if you're inexperienced, you might just don't, like you might know not how to host websites. So I'm just going to say I have no clue. What else? I don't really like frameworks. At least personally, I don't really like frameworks. So like, I don't know, React or Angular or Vue or whatever there is. I've lived fine without it. I mean, I don't know, maybe in the future I'll need to implement it into my typical coding thing, but I don't know, I just don't really use it. But yeah. Okay, so we've established a plan goal. Okay, here we can see that it's actually written it down into the plan project, right? We have to look for flexibility. We need a past coding projects display about me section. This does that. Amazing. No front end frameworks will be used. Okay, let's go back here and now let's see. I also want it to be stylized well. And the style maybe that I'm looking for potentially is like, let me see. Styling, focus on visually appealing professional style, hosting, salutable. Yeah, okay, well, this is just an update to the plan. But yeah, so the style I'm looking for is probably like a kind of space gray, light blue tints, white, like little white stars. So like a background with just like little dots that kind of define the stars of like of the night sky. So that would kind of look nice. I mean, yeah, cool, amazing. And so specifically today, what I'm going to do is establish a calendar, right? In the step-by-step process of Stellar AI, you establish a calendar, a task calendar with the AI system to kind of manage your time, right? In the sense that, okay, on this day, this task is due, on that day, this task is due, and just like giving yourself like an actual timeline. So yeah, now we move on to the planning phase, and where we will build a calendar, a timeline, based on like some research that we have to do, like if required, right? If I'm doing something super simple, then it's not really required. But I would say I actually kind of want to use some research for styling, for like, because I don't know how to actually do it well in CSS. Anything like any proper stylization, like everything is super simple stylized. Even here you can see in Stellar AI, there's nothing super fancy. So I would like to learn that and be able to implement it into the work portfolio site. So that's what we're going to look at. So budget, I think I just want a free service. I'd be fine with free tier. So like, free tiers tend to be worse than paid tiers. I'm fine with that. Technical control versus ease of use. Would you prefer a solution where you have more direct control over the server environment, or something managed easier to deploy? Just just something simple and easy. Don't want to use my brain too much with hosting and stuff. Scalability, I don't think that's applicable here. A work portfolio site is not a business. And so, but one thing I'll say with this response you can see here also still with Star AI, it doesn't seem like it's like it says right now here. Please bear with me while I conduct research. It's not actually like searching the internet, at least not to my knowledge right now. So it's still a flawed system, most certainly. So I want to be able to style the website well. So okay, again, flawed system because it's saying I'll get back with you shortly with the findings. It's not doing any like deep research. What findings, brother? So yeah, here it's again hallucinating, but you're not actually conducting any research. So what's going on? Okay, so I guess now it's web searched. I'm not sure though. It doesn't have any citations. It usually should cite. But yeah, so here it's still talking about the Python Anywhere and Render and all these different hosting platforms. So yeah, I'll just go with Python Anywhere because it's simple and I think I've used it before. So yeah, here we're going to begin creating the task calendar. So really the aim of this video was to establish a timeline so that I can go along with it in the future in this series. Just want to have a very simple website with screenshots, code files, and descriptions of the projects, of the coding projects, but want to spend most of my time on stylization. Okay, so here we have a timeline that we can begin. So today, right now, as I'm recording, it is July 5th. So let's look at this. First, we get the project setup, right? We just make a little app.py and requirements, whatever. Just begin the coding process. Then we develop a basic skeleton of the structure as it is proposing, add minimal text for about me and contact, focus purely on structure. Then we begin with stylization, which is an important coding practice that beginners should know, is that you first build out the skeleton. Like if there's any UI, any features like front end, kind of like something to do with design that is strictly required to proceed with the code, then you only implement it. But nothing like, oh, I want it to be this color, I want it to be that color. Like if it's just a plain button, it can be fine, but the functionality should be in place first. Because when you have the skeleton, you can add the functionality to it, and then you can worry about how to stylize it to make sure the pop-up, like things like that, you know? Anyway, so we have primary stylization and modern implementation. Yeah, so this is the core focus. And as you can see, we have the start date over here. And the deadline will be that, which is 36 days. It's kind of large. But I think that's actually, it might be a good thing because I'm going to be spending my time on the side making this work portfolio site as I record the series. And then I will be able to create something visually very compelling, right? Not too crazy, but like nice effects, you know, maybe some stars in the background, maybe some, you know, moving pop-ups and things like that, you know, whatever. Then we integrate the project content. So it's all this stuff where we actually put the actual screenshots, maybe link to GitHub repositories and concise descriptions for each project. Although I will decide whether it's concise or not, but yeah, that will require 8 days. Then we'll have this, another 8 days for deployment, actually deploying the website onto the internet and then launching it. And then we'll have a final review, testing, and everything like that. So yeah, it sounds good. And it's going to be in December or in September that we complete it. Sounds fine, sure. Fine. Okay, so it said now I will write these into the task calendar so we can see them over here. And indeed, we do have the tasks over here. Project setup and basic flask structure, all this stuff. So now that we have set up our tasks, we will move on to the development stage of the project, which is like when we actually just build the project and we just go along with the timeline. So that was really the objective for today, is to settle on a task calendar where I can go by the tasks and look at, okay, I have this task over here, that task over here. And so that's going to be it for today. I'm going to begin developing it actually in the next video. So goodbye.